So joined by John Isham today, co-founder of Brighter Planet and head of our project selection committee. Thanks for joining us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to take a few minutes, just kind of talk about the climate movement a bit, talk about your role in Brighter Planet, and kind of where you envision, the climate movement, especially, your experience on college campuses. I think we'll find to be particularly interesting.
I'll do that. So the climate movement, first of all, is really growing by leaps and bounds. It's amazing, and a lot of it, as you imply, is grounded on our nation's colleges and university campuses. I would say, as we reflect on this movement, which of course is a groundswell of people trying to move us as quickly as possible towards clean energy, among the most exciting developments lately is getting action taken on the ground by specific groups. So let's Step It Up, of course. In the last year, we've seen 2 events led by Middlebury alums and Bill McKibben, which got thousands of people out making a difference in their community, demanding 80% by 2050. Focus the Nation, which was January of this year, which had almost 2,000 campuses mobilized to demand something similar. So we're seeing not just writing, not just people meeting in retreats and trying to figure out strategies, but actually the implementation of a lot of those strategies. And it's relatively diverse. The whole movement, the part of the movement that involves green jobs is based in urban areas, so it includes a demographic that is very different, say, than we have up here in Vermont.
Yeah. Do you feel that, a certain aspect of, youth movement of the climate, around climate change, there's something that make you particularly receptive and active on the issue?
Well, I think it's a good question. So I think every movement has in some ways been led by youth. And by youth I mean people in their 20s. Actually, I'm starting to think that we should move away from that term youth movement, because when John Lewis founded SNCC, for example, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, I think he was 22. And he wasn't talking about the youth civil rights movement. It was just the civil rights movement. Dr. King, I think, was in about 26 when he was put in front of the Montgomery Improvement Association in 1955. And again, that was, he didn't say, well, I'm the youth leader. And I think, so by now, I think many of the leaders who came out of college campuses who've now graduated, they're older than Lewis was, and they're getting close to the age that King was. Having said that, your point is very well taken. People of the youngest generation are clearly in the lead. And so the question is, why does this speak to them? Well, clearly it's their future. I think clearly also they're very pragmatic, Robbie, so they're not hung up in ideologies, they're looking for solutions. They are fun-loving, and I think a key part of this movement is that it brings people together to enjoy each other, to appreciate each other, to do something that allows them to literally sing and dance and appreciate the here and now. And younger people, let me put it that way, are particularly good at that.
Yeah.
I will say, in our book Ignition, which is this edited volume that I did with a colleague, Sissel Wagi, and it includes many of the Brighter Planet folks in there. There's a quote in the last chapter about youthfulness being a state of mind, a quote from Robert F. Kennedy when he addressed South Africans in the beginning of the formal fight against apartheid. And he basically said we all need to have youthful qualities. Yeah. So I like that a lot, and again, it takes us away from a youth movement and a non-youth movement.
Sure.